Welcome back. The next step in the business plan is to determine your income and closing goals. In this lesson, I want to review the process behind determining your true income goal for the year. So instead of picking a number out of the air as your commission goal, let's walk through the following steps so you can calculate a revenue goal that has some meaning and includes profit. In an upcoming lesson, I will be demonstrating how to customize the real estate business plan located in your downloads. But before we get there, let's cover the 5 areas to consider to determine your income goal. So here's what they are: your business expenses, your living or household expenses. The third is savings, retirement, fund, the profit that you want to have this year. Profit is important. We just don't work for covering our expenses and our taxes. And then that brings me to estimating your tax payments. So we've designed the business plan so that you use these 5 areas. You do some work, you got a little homework here to come up with those 5 areas so that it's a meaningful overall income goal. I find most real estate agents just pick out an area. New agents classically say, I want to make $100,000. Well, that's fine if that $100,000 means something to you because you've done that work for those 5 areas. So let's talk about your business expenses. In the overview and download section, you'll find a business budget Excel sheet with all the common categories for a real estate agent. So use this to estimate if you're a new licensee, or if you've been in the business for a while, get your actual expenses for the previous year. That total is going to go into the business expense field of the plan. Do the same thing with the personal home budget. That's another spreadsheet we have for you in the downloads. Now, if real estate is 100% of your income, meaning that's the only way that you're paying all of your bills and covering your expenses and paying your taxes, then you'll put that number, into the plan. Adjust the number according to your personal situation. So if you have other income or someone else is contributing to your living expenses, then just use the applicable annual dollar amount that you want your real estate revenue to cover. Now decide how much profit you want to make. After all, you're not working just to pay your expenses and taxes, as I mentioned. We have an added field for savings, retirement plan, maybe funding a vacation, whatever else you might have as a separate financial goal for the year. And then the plan's going to subtotal those. So the final area is to estimate your taxes. The plan, as I said, will subtotal, and you won't always know exactly what your taxable income is going to be. So just go ahead and estimate. Use a fee, something like 25 to 30%, because you're going to have tax saving strategies and deductions, but put a number in there. It would be better to ultimately, be conservative and overestimate your taxes, because if you do, then clearly you'll have more money at the end of the year. In the next 3 tabs of the business plan, you'll be able to calculate your closing goals for sales and listings once you have that income number. The sheet's going to auto-calculate the number of listings and sales you need to close in order to reach that income goal based on your specific variables like your average sales price, what's the gross commission percentage, and so on. You'll also be able to determine the presentations needed. You'll use that worksheet to determine the total number of buyer and seller prospects and actual presentations, how many buyers and sellers you need to get in front of in order to meet your annual real estate closing goals. So you're going to simply enter the total number of weeks you plan to work, and the spreadsheet does the rest of the work for you there. There is another area that you can change on that particular spreadsheet. Again, I'm going to demo all this for you, and we have it set to a 3-to-1 ratio. So if you've been in the business a while, maybe you have to go on 2 presentations to get 1 listing, for example. So the way we've written it, the model implies that you'll need 3 prospective buyers or sellers in order to get 1 person to work with you. And lastly, you need to calculate the contacts, the connections that you need. This part of the business plan auto-calculates the estimated number of appointments, contacts that you need to reach those goals. So all you'll do is complete the shaded cells, and it's a ratio. I'll explain it better when we get to the demo of each source of business that you want to focus on. And then it's going to tell you if you want to have 50% of your business come from your sphere of influence, it will calculate how many connections you need to make over on a daily and weekly basis for your numbers to work for you. Okay? So the detailed tutorial, I'm going to walk you through all of that coming up here in a future lesson. See you in the next video.